Hello everyone, it's Droblue, and I am back with another Bannerlord tutorial. I'm going to be going over how to get the absolute cheapest goods within the game of Bannerlord. And first, I just want to say sorry for the lapse in tutorial making. I was busy with exams, but no need to fear, I'm going to be back to posting videos quite frequently now. And so enough talking about that, let's just get into the guide. But first, I also have something else to say, sorry. Thank you, once again, for all of the subs. I appreciate all of y'all, especially with hitting 1,000 subscribers. It gives me the motivation to do this, and it keeps me entertained. And responding to all your comments is awesome, so please keep leaving comments. I love, and it gives me something to do, especially with this quarantine. And it also gives me more motivation, and all the comments tend to also be entertaining to respond to as well, not just having something to do. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that by clicking my little icon in the bottom right corner of this video. I make a whole bunch of tutorial videos, and a lot more will be coming out shortly, along with a playthrough, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's hop straight into this Bannerlord tutorial. Okay, this tutorial is going to be going over how you can get the goods for the absolute cheapest value in the game. Rather than having to travel for them throughout the map to find the cheapest goods possible with all the different ratings and all the different trading skills that you need to learn, this is a much simpler method to just off the bat get cheaper goods. And a lot of y'all may not necessarily know this, but if you do, please let me know in the comments below that you did somehow know this or just didn't know about this tip or trick. Anyways, so the very first thing you're going to want to do is travel through the entire map to find a single group of villagers. Trust me, this is by far the absolute most difficult thing you will ever do within the game of Bannerlord, and it is absolutely impossible whatsoever to find any groups of villagers at all. It's absolutely impossible. I'm just kidding, of course. And just go on down to any city or just travel around a bit, just like I found these random group of villagers in the woods. And there are sure to be villager groups around, especially around cities, because they tend to go sell their goods in the city, which is also important to keep note of. So you're going to want to make sure you are not getting ones that have just recently exited from a city, though. You don't want a group that has just recently exited from a city, because that is going to screw up the method behind this getting the cheapest goods. Because I think if I'm correct that they sell their goods within the city and then they're left with no goods to trade after that. But we'll get into more in detail later. And so once we find the group of villagers, we're going to want to talk to them and threaten them for all their supplies. Just kidding. We're righteous heroes and want to do this the rightful way like any typical medieval lord would do. And that is by murdering them and taking all their stuff rather than just forcing them to give us stuff. Because that's what good old medieval lords did way back when medieval lords were medieval lords, basically. But anyways, since we're actually righteous people and we don't want to go murder our own kingdom's villagers, although that would be fun sometimes, not gonna lie, chopping their heads off does make for some great entertainment. But we are, once again, a righteous individual, and we're going to do that the right way. And basically, what we're going to do is talk to the villagers. Let me chase them down real quick. You're going to want to talk to the villagers. Typically, if they're not within your own kingdom, there's going to be an option to attack them right here. But that doesn't show up because I am part of the kingdom that they're in. But what you're going to want to do from here is talk about that you're going to the market too, and ask them what kind of products they have. And as you can see, they list out an entire list of products, like a bunch of different products. They have old workhorses, dates, grain, cheese, butter, and then they give you the price that you can have them at, and you can give them that price or say, never mind. These individual prices are cheaper than most of the prices in the surrounding area and just cheap altogether. It's really one of the best way to bulk get goods to go sell in other places. Just talk to villagers because they'll have the raw resources and they'll be cheaper than the city, than buying them in the city themselves, because the city buys this and then resells it at a markup price, but you're buying directly from the source, which is one of the most profitable ways to do it, and which is actually what a lot of companies and monopolies do in person, is that they go straight from the source rather than having it from a third party, because that third party charges more than coming straight from the source. So that's basically the theory behind this. And you're going to want to do this basically all over the map, and you can get a ton of bulk goods. Sorry, I can't speak and I'm repeating myself. But a big thing behind this is that you're going to want to check what their villages mainly produce. Whatever they mainly produce is mostly what these villagers are going to have, and they're going to have that cheaper than anywhere you can get around. And this is by far one of the best trading methods to get the absolute cheapest goods. Although there is a downside, you do have to pay for those old workhorses, which are absolutely useless, but it's actually a good way to increase party size initially because they're super cheap, and I'm pretty sure some of your horsemen or some of your infantry can ride them, which increases your speed. But other than that, say the dates that we get from this villager, we can take those dates that we get for 42 a pop and then go sell them at the nearest city for way more than what they're actually worth. And the grain is cheaper than what you get it for, and probably even the butter and the cheese is cheaper. Although some are markup, it just depends on the situation. And if you know the area you're trading in, you're going to know what goods you can buy from them and what goods are actually going to turn you a profit. Like, I'm 90% sure the dates are going to end up turning me a profit because they're cheaper than we can get by from the places that we can get traveling halfway across the map. And this saves a whole lot of time. But anyways, that about wraps it up for the guide. In short, TLDR, if you would like it put that way, and basic rundown, whatever you want to call it, you're going to want to trade with villagers to get bulk goods and then sell those goods back to cities. And that is the absolute cheapest way to get goods or trade goods within the game of Bannerlord. So, thank you to all of y'all for 1,000 subscribers again. I really appreciate every single one of you. And once again, make sure to like the video by clicking my icon in the bottom right corner, and I would highly appreciate if you did that. It means a lot. And if you want to see my upcoming merchant playthrough and many more tutorials. Anyways, thank you guys for liking the video. Or thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you do like the video so I can thank you for liking the video as well. And thank you guys for subscribing. So make sure you subscribe so that doesn't become false. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been Blue.